I didn't watch it. It's just I'm just like.
We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com at 88.1 FM, KKJZ HD3 Long Beach, Los Angeles.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and now our World Broadcasting Tag Team Champions of the World and our Cruiserweight Champion.
I'm Ethan.
I'm James.
I'm Rob.
And we are BTR. This is episode 94 of Beyond the Ropes. Big week. Last week we had a big episode because it was premiere week for everyone. Everyone essentially got a rebranding, got a new show. We got a rebranding a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of stuff happened. Some big news.
a lot of stuff happened.
Yeah, to say the least. I mean, I guess we could talk about the Hell in the Cell ending, and then we could go into more details.
Yeah.
But essentially, last night was the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view, and we're just going to jump right into it. We'll give the plugs a little bit later. Last night, Hell in the Cell match, The Fiend Bray Wyatt challenged for the Universal Championship against Seth Rollins. So going into this match, I think everyone was expecting Bray to get that Universal Championship.
Right. This was supposed to be the moment.
It was supposed to be a moment. That was not the case. While it was a little bit back and forth, I guess, between him and Seth, essentially the match was culminated with Seth using just about every weapon to try and take out The Fiend. He hit about 10 different stomps.
You want to tell you about that stomp last time? What was it against Brock or somebody? It's like the stomp is just so like.
Yeah, I mean,
it takes 10 stomps, 5 stomps.
Bray was no selling most of them.
Mm-hmm.
Kicked out at one for a couple of so it was just, and the audience was not into it very much. There was a lot of booing when Seth got some offense. They really wanted to see.
They wanted to see it, right? So, were you done? I have two things.
Go ahead.
First of all, I mean, many people thought that was supposed to be the moment. I think Survivor Series is around the corner. But do you honestly think they were going to switch the titles then? Like, I mean, like at Hell in a Cell, really? Like, I don't think. I mean, yes. I mean, it can happen at any time.
Right.
But when you just get a sense of it, and then just on top of that, I think more importantly is like, you had the SmackDown big reveal thing on the stage. The show was in LA. That was a pay-per-view in itself. But
pretty much, yeah.
This was an afterthought. This whole Hell in a Cell card was an afterthought. What was it? Within hours before the event or a day before the event?
Hours.
They said, breaking news, here's 4 matches that are going to happen on the card. The whole card was thrown together. If I had so they were chanting they wanted a refund after. They probably should have gotten a refund. But at the same time, even if I had a ticket, going into that show, I would have almost known for a fact this is going to be a hot mess.
The show itself I thought was really good. I don't know. I think
The last match just sums up for everybody. They just take the last match. The last thing that they see on TV, therefore, becomes what summarizes the show.
Essentially, pretty much. So, it ended, so as kind of going back to the finish, it was Seth using chairs. He was hitting The Fiend right like in the head. He was already down, and then he trapped him, and then he used a ladder.
Yeah.
So he put the chair on Bray and then used a ladder to hit the chair. And then he used like a toolbox and was smacking that around.
I heard about the toolbox.
And then he got sledgehammer, and that's when the ref called the match. So
yeah, the big DQ.
They didn't call it a DQ.
They didn't call it
They call it
Did the bell
referee
ring?
stoppage.
Did the bell ring?
Yes.
Referee stoppage.
It was referee stoppage.
Look, there's a standard set when
Yeah.
it comes to Hell in a Cell. I was, I was talking about this over the weekend actually, where the standard has been set by Mankind and The Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
When you get thrown off the top of the cage, go back up and get thrown through the middle of the cage, and then you do a thumbtack spot. I mean, they didn't no contest any of that, so.
Yeah, so
I'm just saying.
a lot of people were unhappy with the result.
And they had every right to be.
Yeah, and then Bray did get back up after they called it. He actually got back up and then
Really?
assaulted Seth, so he stood tall. made Seth bleed. I think it was a blood packet. But
See, the
he made-
thing.
So, it made, if anything, it made the Fiend look strong without having to win the title, but it really made Seth look terrible because
But-
people were
right.
booing him.
So, but what was the point of having the whole match? The thing is
Exactly.
like, was there a decision made at one point, and was it a last minute call to say, hey, let's just do this finish and just get out of this situation? Which could have been possible, and if it is, it showed, because if I'm one of those two performers, if I'm Bray or if I'm Seth, I would say either pin me or let me win, or have me win, not,
Right.
you know.
It's definitely not the outcome you want, obviously, in Hell in a Cell, as you mentioned. There's a standard that you want to set up. I think there was a watch-along WWE has.
Yeah,
X-Pac
right.
even, the thing called him out. Like,
I think I did see something else on Twitter right
Yeah.
before we started. What did he?
I didn't watch the video, but I
Mhm.
know he said, like, it's Hell in a Cell, it shouldn't be a DQ.
Yeah.
I know Mick Foley himself said he liked it. He didn't like the necessarily a disqualification, but he liked that it made Bray look
Looked
strong. So
yeah.
he himself thought, at least aside from the result of the match, he thought it was an okay ending to it. But yeah, pretty much everyone on Twitter, I mean, earlier today, hashtag cancel the WWE Network was trending.
That too. I mean,
I think it's over the top because no one's gonna do it.
one, how many times have they done that before? Second of all,
Yeah, a couple times.
it's only $10. That goes to the other point. If you were still paying $60 for these pay-per-views, and that was the finish you got, sure, then I'd be right there with you. But when you're getting it for $10 a month, and all the other content aside from the pay-per-views make up, or you get your money's worth from the $10, just accept it for what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, don't accept it for what it is. You want a
could be
better
unhappy.
product.
You could be unhappy.
You could totally
but
be unhappy, but you know, dang
Get over
well,
it.
you're still gonna be logging onto the network to do whatever,
Absolutely.
to do whatever you do on the network.
Yeah, so that was a result of the main event of Hell in a Cell between Seth Rollins and The Fiend Bray Wyatt.
A bad taste in the mouths of people after a good week. A bad ending to a good week.
Yeah, pretty essential. Well,
Was
there was a little more bad, which we'll talk to in a little bit.
I
Talk
mean,
about
there's
it.
some bad that I saw that's going on right now on Raw.
Oh no, that's all good. I love it. Let's just, no,
Oh,
we're not
no.
gonna get into it.
But wait, what are you? Are we on the same page? What do you?
I don't
Just say the name.
Is it Lana?
Yes, I was like,
Yes.
oh my God, Bobby has a family.
You know, people wanted the Attitude Era back, and
There you go, but
you get it, and now you don't want it anymore. So it's like, what do you
I
want?
mean,
The Attitude Era wasn't perfect.
again, this is just another classic example of you have two people in a relationship outside of the ring,
Yeah.
like Lana and Rusev,
Mm-hmm.
and what do? You mess it up.
Yeah,
They're married.
that's true. I don't know what they're doing with this. It's
Mm.
Does
interesting.
Kate Quick count as part of the Attitude Era?
Yes,
Yeah.
Quick counts as part of the Attitude Era. That's it for you. Huh?
That's our truth plug, right?
That's your plug, right? Okay.
Alright.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you don't have anything to do with Bobby Lashley, but come on.
Yeah,
Anyways.
you gotta see where this goes. I didn't see the segment. I just saw
I
a
didn't
picture.
either. I saw enough.
I saw the picture.
Yeah, that was too
Um,
much.
I'm fine with it. Speaking of that, we didn't even talk about that's how it ended last week, essentially, with right Lashley and
What?
Lana were
Yeah,
making out on
they're
stage.
making out on the stage, which
Yeah.
I thought too was kind of crazy. Again, I'm all for the Attitude Era, but it's like it just bothers me that you get people in a relationship and that's what you want to mess with. Sure, everyone knows they're in a relationship, which is why it's so scandalous.
Mhm.
But
I don't know, Is that a Paul Heyman thing or a Vince thing? I feel like it's Paul Heyman.
no, that's a Vince thing.
No, it's Paul Heyman.
No, that's a Vince thing.
It's gotta be. He's running creative.
Have you ever listened to Bruce Pritchard's podcast?
No.
You would know for a fact that this is a Vince
Heyman's
McMahon
done,
thing.
Heyman's done some stuff too. I know.
Oh, don't get me wrong, Heyman has done some stuff, but I just
He's riding the Mike and Maria Kanellis thing.
right, and that's fine.
That's very similar
I
to
mean,
what they're doing.
yeah, I mean,
messing with the
yeah.
relationship there.
Still,
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see where this goes. Did we talk about? We talked a little bit about crown jewel coming up, the real Halloween Havoc happening.
Yeah, the real Halloween
The real
Havoc. Which again is not, so we're not going to get a rematch there for the Universal title because it's what, Team Hogan versus Team Flair. I think Seth is on Team Hogan.
He's the team captain, and the team captain of Team Flair is Randy Orton.
Okay.
And Baron Corbin's on that team, and Seth has Rusev on his team.
And that's all we know, or?
That's how we know as of right now.
As of right now.
I don't know. I haven't
Right.
looked at any results, but that's all we know for now. Let's get in some plugs. Facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes is where you can like our page where we post all episodes. Currently there are 92?
92.
We don't have last week's.
Oh, it's exported, right?
We're in the 90s.
We're in the 90s. we're getting to almost episode 100.
Mark your calendars, boys and girls.
Yeah, I don't know the exact date, but
Yeah, but just count one.
Just
What are we,
count.
94?
94. We got 6 more weeks.
Okay, so you got 6 weeks. Mark your calendars.
It'll be a huge celebration.
Yes.
I don't know if that'll be true, but we'll show up.
Well, yeah.
We'll show up.
We'll be here.
We've also got a Twitter account at RealBTR Radio.
Mhm.
That is at RealBTR Radio with 2 R's in BTR Radio. You can also follow me individually at Ethan1995. You can follow James at
JHW Reporter.
and Rob at
Rob Flores Media.
and YouTube. Just search up Beyond the Ropes. You'll find over 90 episodes there. You're also currently on now with the hashtag.
Ask questions. Yes.
There we go. You got it right. Right.
I've been practicing all week.
Absolutely.
That was my one job this week.
All right. The big Wednesday Night War happened.
The big Wednesday Night War did happen.
A lot of mixed reaction. A lot of.
I thought there were,
Well, it was
it
mostly
seemed
positive.
like it was positive
No, it
reviews
was
on both
positive.
sides.
It was positive, but it was mixed reaction on what people thought of who won the war.
I mean, it's the first week.
Exactly. But just going by social media, just
From what I saw on social media, it was actually more NXT. And
That's what I
I
thought.
don't know if maybe, well, one, it's going to be a bigger audience, yada yada. But
well, that wasn't the case.
Older
okay,
people.
hold on now. We'll get to that in a second. I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, I
but
got some numbers.
But I just think too that I heard it was good wrestling on the show.
Mhm.
There were, there's a lot of great stuff. I'm curious to hear about these numbers, especially since from what I did hear about AEW, and I mean, I'm no different. A lot of those guys I don't know.
Right.
So maybe that was part of the curiosity there of what is going on the other channel.
And that's the word. That's the word I used
Mhm.
to really describe the success of Dynamite. Not taking anything away from that company, but I feel like a lot of curiosity was, I saw social media, people were talking about, well, this week I'm going to check out AEW because I want to see what they're doing.
Right.
So it's their first week, so.
Yeah.
You know.
You've seen the best of NXT,
You
but you
know what
don't
you're
know,
getting.
right.
Right.
Even if it's great,
Mhm.
you
You
can watch it
later.
on the network later or whatever. But you don't know.
What AEW is going to
You
do.
don't know,
It's
yeah,
their first
exactly.
show.
Exactly.
And overall, I thought AEW did a decent job.
A lot of people were going for Shivani.
Really?
Tony Schiavone was trending. People
Oh, really?
miss Tony. I think just the whole him being back on TNT and everything else. I think
Big
JR was on commentary as well.
Mhm.
I think they were working together back in the day on WCW.
Mhm.
And so, I mean, it kind of had some flashbacks for some people back to some good times. So it was interesting to see that people there was a pop for Shivani. So
Yeah, for sure. And again, I overall thought AEW Dynamite had a decent showing. There was a lot of people that really loved it. There was a lot of people that thought NXT was better.
mm-hmm.
I'm one of those people that thought NXT brought a better show. And I think we're going to get to it in a few minutes because we're going to hit a commercial break very soon. But before we head to commercial, I will give those numbers. AEW drew a 1.4 rating.
Okay.
1.4 million people. NXT drew an average of around 850.
What?
Yeah, 850,000. So they fell. They fell a little bit.
I think it'll go back. I think it'll.
I think it's definitely going to even a little more out now that we know what AEW is doing.
Right.
It's.
And I think that still might even take a few more weeks. We can
Oh,
talk,
for sure.
We can talk more about it later. And also, as far as a teaser, did you see that table spot to the glass? That glass table spot?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Okay, we'll leave it right there as a teaser for you folks.
There we go. And so we'll be back with some AEW and NXT news right here on Beyond the Ropes.
22 West Radio took home 3
I thought he was
awards
doing
from
the
the
Denzel
International
Shuffle.
Broadcasting Service
Oh, no,
conference this year. Here's a message
That was
from
really,
the
I
shows
think,
that
the
won.
thing that stood out to me.
Hi everyone,
They
I'm
were-
Georgie.
they
I'm
were
the main
fun.
host
I think
of
they were
Brains Are
something else,
Sexy
but,
Radio. We're a show that tackles mental health
What
and
was
helps
the other
students cope
high
with the
spot?
daily stressors of college life. Because we
High
believe
spot?
a healthy brain is a sexy brain.
There was like some high
We won an
spots,
award this year
and I
for Best
forgot what
Talk
they were.
Program. So come be a part of the discussion and tune in on Wednesdays from 10 to 11 a.m. on 22 West Radio.
Hi everyone, I'm Isa, one of the hosts
In
from
other results,
Fibonacci
so
Radio.
we'll go
We're a
through
show
it.
that focuses on shining a spotlight on local
They
music
didn't do a
through a
ladder
live
match or
aspect as
something?
well
I
as through
think that was
playlists that
NXT,
explain
right?
the cultural
NXT
significance of
now.
certain songs and
that
artists.
was
We won awards for Best Variety Show
Oh,
and
that
Best
was
Live Music
quite fun.
Broadcast. Listen to
maybe that's
Fibonacci
what
on
it was.
Fridays from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Brains Are Sexy and Fibonacci are 2 shows you do not want to miss. Thank you very much for tuning in to 22 West Radio.
Enjoy the best classic hits with the Even Richard Stevens.
What's the last commercial?
Songs from the
Yeah,
60s,
this is the big
70s,
like
and
these
80s
after.
that made
It's
it
just
on the
like
charts
10
are,
songs.
and there are thousands of songs to choose from. Sometimes fast, and sometimes these songs are pretty and slow that touch your heart and soul. Classic hits at the beach. Now 2 hours on Mondays from 3 to 5 p.m.
We are 22 West Radio. 22 West Radio is 22westmedia.com and 88.1 FM KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles.
And we're back with episode 94 of Beyond the Ropes. We are BTR. I'm Ethan.
I'm James.
Rob.
And before the break, we were discussing a little bit of AEW Dynamite and NXT on USA.
How's their ring?
How's the ring
Yeah.
It's the same, I think. No.
for AEW?
Yeah.
Very WCW-esque.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can talk about it now. before we-
it's they're not gonna have apron screens and stuff like
No,
the
no, no, no.
LED screens on for the ring skirts like
No, no, no.
WWE does, but
Overall, I mean, as a production, a presentation, as a show, I felt it was very much like a WCW Nitro
WCW
show, especially when you have Tony Schiavone.
and Jim
on-
Ross, and it's on.
It's on TNT,
Hey, this
especially
is Tony Giovanni on TNT.
when
yeah,
he
so
said
it just sounds the same.
wrestling is back on TNT after 18 years, and he was obviously referencing WCW.
Mhm.
It very much felt like a WCW show, which
And then, yeah.
I did tweet. I was not a big fan of
I think I
that.
did see that tweet. I was gonna say someone else tweeted, but I think that was you.
It was. I did.
Yeah, you
for sure.
did. Yeah, I think I liked that. It was very WCW. It just reminded you of WCW.
It reminded me too much of WCW. I think if you're a new show, you want a specific
Right.
look. You don't want to look like WWE, obviously. You want to be different. You don't want to look like New Japan, but they have their own distinct look.
Mhm.
You don't want to look like Impact. They obviously have a different image as well. And I mean, especially Lucha Underground when that was a thing, that was very much its own underground type show.
Right.
And I felt like AEW was really treading that retro territory almost of a program with Nitro, a Nitro-esque show. And I thought overall it was a decent show, as I mentioned before. But I think they really need to find their own, I guess, look and image, presentation, all that.
I think part of it is too is, they're not going for that casual audience right now. They're just trying to get the wrestling fan in and get them on board first and foremost. So I mean, it's kind of like if the wrestling's good, then that's all that matters kind of deal right now.
I think
And
that's
then you
what
get
they're going for,
and
yeah.
then you get pomp and circumstances after after you get that your base audience in.
For sure. Before we head into the results, because we're going to go through this, both AEW and NXT.
Okay.
We'll start with AEW, but before we do that, once again, facebook.com/BeyondTheRopes. We post videos of every episode. Over 90 episodes are uploaded there. We are also on YouTube. Just search up Beyond the Ropes. You'll find over 90 episodes there. You can follow us all on Twitter at EthanNV95.
At JHW Reporter.
Rob Flores Media.
And you can follow our main account for the show at Real BTR Radio. That is Real BTR Radio. BTR Radio has 2 R's. Alright, getting into AEW Dynamite, the opening contest. First off, it started with their intro video.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. I like it. A lot of colors and all that stuff. They had pyro. That's another
AEW
thing.
had pyro.
Yeah, they had WCW-esque pyro.
Oh Lord! But see,
I'm telling you.
but now, is it really just WCW-esque pyro, or is it just?
Yes. I felt like I was watching the intro to Nitro.
Okay, that's fair.
Watch.
Because part of it's just like, is it okay? Are we just
No,
gonna?
I understand.
Like,
I understand the pyro could be for any show.
No. But I guess what I'm saying is like, it's on TNT. It's on. It has Tony Schiavone. Like everything lines up where it's gonna be like TNT, but it's on WCW. But is it just like?
It was very Nitro-esque. It reminded me.
I need to someone has to have those, an old Nitro and an AEW like entrance side by side. I'd be curious to see.
Yeah. So, we'll see if they continue that. I'm sure they will. But they got pyro. It started off with Cody coming out. He also got pyro, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. Yeah, we're always having technical difficulties on the show. Rob is.
Rob's gimmick pen just.
He gimmicked the pen.
He
right?
is in the middle. You broke the pen in the middle of writing.
How does that happen?
Disqualified or rule it a no contest.
Yeah, I'm ruling it a no contest, throwing out the match, referee stoppage here.
Referee stoppage here on the Beyond the Ropes show.
Yeah. All right. So getting back to the show, while Rob figures out his issues here. Poor Rob over here.
That'll keep him busy.
We won't have to hear our truth for the next 40 minutes. Anyways.
he just
tore it
pulled the
apart.
whole gimmick out of the pen and is just using the ink cartridge thing, or not ink cartridge, but
Right.
the ink straw, whatever. Anyways,
All right.
we're
so,
losing control of the
Alright.
show. The ref's is waving his hands, trying to get this thing back in order.
All right. Cody makes his entrance.
Mhm.
Got pyro. His opponent was Sammy Guevara. This opening contest was all right.
Okay.
Wasn't bad. Wasn't good.
Have you heard
Wasn't
heard
great.
of Cody's opponent before?
Yeah, I followed him. I followed him before AEW, and
So let me put it to you this way:
yes.
Was he the right man, or was he the right wrestler to have as Cody Rhodes' opponent? Because this is a trivia question, pretty much.
Yes.
But what was the first match in AEW history?
I'm gonna say yes because of the results of the end of the night.
Okay.
It played into it.
Okay.
Alright. Again, a decent match. Didn't love it, didn't hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Cody defeated Sammy Guevara in about, 10 minutes maybe.
Okay. So they had
It was a roll up. It wasn't a definite finish,
Right,
but he got the victory. After the match, Tony came in
Mm-hmm.
to go for an interview. You could tell Cody was emotional. Obviously, it's a big deal. He just had the first match
Right.
of his show on TNT, and it was a big deal for him. But before he even got to say anything, Chris Jericho came out, the inaugural AEW champion.
Oh, that's right.
He attacked Cody, and so that happened for about, somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes maybe.
Mm-hmm.
They came back from commercial, I think. I think they did picture in picture. So one thing that was interesting about last week's NXT and Dynamite was they had a number of picture in picture commercials.
Oh, keeping
So you keep the
screen. You keep the
keep
the
the action
show
on the
on.
screen, yeah.
Right.
NXT more so than AEW. I think AEW had a few of them, but they did eventually, I think, for like a commercial or two,
Mhm.
they did have full on commercial. But NXT went full on, like, we're not gonna really give up.
Right.
This,
Yeah, because they don't want you changing the channel.
Especially for the first 35 minutes, almost 40 minutes, they didn't have any commercials at all.
Mhm.
So, but we'll get to that. And came back, and Jericho was essentially walking up the stage and whatever. So, the next match, I didn't like this match at all. It was Brandon Cutler versus MJF.
Okay.
MJF is considered to be one of, if not the best
Mhm.
heel right now in the business by many.
Okay.
At least that's what I mean, Jim Cornette feels that way. You can't take Jim Cornette
Oh.
seriously, but you know,
I mean,
a lot of people.
you can kind of sometimes.
Yeah, a little bit, some depending on what he said.
Oh yeah, I mean, depending
Yeah.
on what he says.
Yeah. But other people feel the same way about
Right,
MJF.
right.
I cut a promo. I liked it. Kind of almost generic '80s villain, though, but it was fine. Like, it was good. His opponent botched a couple of moves, and it looked kind of sloppy.
Mm.
Apparently, the commentator said he was a high school friend of the Young Bucks, and he spent 5 years away from the business to start a family. So I don't know how long he's been back.
Okay, wait. So you've never heard of this guy?
Brad, not until they announced this match a couple weeks ago.
Because I wonder, like, being honest, like, is that some honest, like?
Like of him being friends with the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
No, that's real. The commentators.
Like he hasn't been in there for 5 years.
Oh,
like
I don't know how.
I'm just
long
saying,
they're
like
back.
if
Yeah,
Right,
but
right.
they said he took 5 years off to, start a family.
which I mean, if that's the case, then I mean that's understandable. But
Yeah.
I'm just surprised they said that.
It's quite odd.
Kinda.
Again, he kind of messed up a few moves, but MJF ultimately got the victory after maybe 5 minutes with the submission.
Mhm.
So
Okay. Good
yeah, that
job,
was that.
match.
Yeah. Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes were in the audience, front row. They were watching the show. Famous for Jay and Silent Bob.
Okay. Yeah, people were talking about that.
They were there. Jericho is going to be in their movie, just coming out,
Okay.
and I know they were promoting. They were going to all be at the New York Comic Con, which was this past weekend, so they were all
okay.
there. But anyways, they were there. They kind of cut a promo promoting their upcoming film. Jack Evans and Helico of Lucha Underground fame
Mhm.
came out and kind of interrupted them, tried to trash talk them. Then Private Party. These guys are their gimmick I feel is very similar to the Street Profits.
I was gonna say you could just kind of tell from the name that it's.
It's very similar. Like they came out in very similar outfits. It felt like that the Street Profits were. So I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, that's kind of.
But they interrupted and tried to save the day, I guess, whatever. And then they were just escorted to the back. Then we had a SoCal uncensored video.
Oh,
So-
what?
SCU, it's Kazarian Daniels and Scorpio Sky. That's her
Oh,
group name,
okay.
SoCal Uncensored. They were in front of the White House, or as close as you can get to the White
Yeah,
House.
right.
And they cut a promo. And then they came out in front of the audience to talk about the tag team tournament that is starting this week
Okay.
for the tag titles. And they announced that Kazarian and Daniels would be the two members representing the team, the trio.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Lucha Brothers came out, and they said they're gonna win those tag titles. They got into a bit of a brawl. Yeah.
Nothing from the Young Bucks. I just don't want to see the Young Bucks win the titles. Just because that's too obvious.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious. Next up, we had, I guess they're calling him Pac. Thought it was Pac, but it's Pac.
Yeah, I've only heard Pop. Yeah, that's the first time I've heard of it.
The commentators kept calling him Pac. So
It's probably a copyright issue with Tupac.
yeah,
I don't know. I'm just maybe. Who knows?
It could be. Maybe they just decided let's just stick with one.
Yeah, I've just never heard it. The other
Yeah,
day,
neither
so
have I.
It's interesting.
Pac took on Hangman Adam Page. This was a good match. Pretty stiff.
Mm-hmm.
They had some interesting moments. Ultimately, Pac defeated Hangman Page when he hit a low blow behind the referee's back. Hit what used to be called the Red Arrow. He changed it to the Black Arrow, which is the top rope move he does. And then he did the Rings of Saturn, which he also changed the name. The Brutalizer. That's what it's called.
That's a lame name.
Yeah, I know when I heard it, I was like,
Really?
just keep it the Rings of Saturn.
Yeah. I hate when they try to change up names. Like that's a.
Yeah. Earl Hebner was refereeing that match.
I heard about that.
Hangman Page was in Tappy. He tweeted out who hired Earl Hebner. So there you go.
Then this is the match that they didn't want to do because Bob was the champion. He didn't want to lose.
Correct. All right.
Okay. Fair. But so I mean, yeah, there you go. He won. So everyone's happy. He's
I guess
happy.
so. Yeah, wins and losses matter. They whenever
Well, you want to get the win on the first show, that's for sure.
especially on the first show, but on their intro cards, they all had like a win-loss
That's right.
record.
I remember hearing about
They
that.
had a win-loss record on the side, so
Which I think is an interesting touch because
For sure.
it's kind of like
it's different.
if you go 0-5, you're gonna be 0-5, and like I think I heard, are they gonna count house shows on there? Are they doing house shows?
I have no
I think
idea.
I've seen them announce things that make me think, oh, maybe that's a house show.
We can confirm they have AEW Dark, which is going to be on their YouTube channel.
What is that?
Dark matches that happen before and
Oh,
after.
Dark,
So they
yeah.
have, I believe, 4 matches for tomorrow on their YouTube channel.
Dang, 4.
Yeah, they had,
It's a 2-hour show.
I don't know.
No, well,
It's on
how
YouTube.
how long is the TNT show?
The TNT show is 2 hours.
Okay.
And
then
they
they'll
had a
at
dark-
least do another hour with this dark stuff.
They had yeah, it's their dark matches before and after
Yeah,
the show. They had
yeah.
3, I think, before and then 1 after. So, yeah, there you go for people that aren't able to make the
Yeah.
broadcast, because they had a lot of names that weren't on the show. So
Right, and they try to squeeze some of those guys in, like I mentioned with the glass table spot with Omega and Ambrose.
oh yeah, we're gonna get to that very
So,
soon.
yeah.
We gotta get through this.
Oh, that's not even the end of the card.
No, we've got 2 more matches.
Okay.
We've got the AEW Women's Championship match.
Which
Rio.
I heard was the match of the night, maybe.
Oh, who told you that? Oh no.
No?
Not
Maybe I was, or maybe I'm thinking of the NXT match. NXT Women's match.
That one was good. That one was better, I thought.
Okay.
It wasn't. I don't
Maybe I
think it was
got
a
them
match.
mixed up.
Rio took on Nyla Rose. So Nyla Rose is a big,
Sounds familiar.
bigger person,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if she knows her full strengths.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like Rio, who is a Japanese wrestler, I guess she's good friends with Kenny Omega, and they had a few good spots. They actually did have some good spots, but
Okay.
there was also some botches
bad
by
stuff.
Nyla Rose,
Okay.
and I think there were some issues there. Yeah, it was also interesting because Rio was only they said she was only 98 pounds, and Nyla Rose is pushing 300, so almost a 200-pound difference.
Damn.
And you're doing kind of the David versus Goliath type thing,
Right.
but it's also like, is that really what you want to do on the first? Like,
I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I think it's more so, like for the botches and stuff, and I think a lot of that has to do with it's the first show. Everyone's nervous. I mean, I don't know what their experience is as far as
Yeah,
like how
neither do
long
I.
they've been in the ring, but.
Right.
I mean, the first show you're gonna get botches. You know, you said there was a botch in that second match as well. So, I mean, I feel like that's expected with TV cameras, or I'm sure in this case multiple TV cameras. Some of these wrestlers may not have had any more than one, if any, TV cameras in wherever they're performing at any given time. So, I'm sure that's a factor. You know, trying to find the hard camera. You know, trying to make sure everything goes smoothly. So.
For sure. So ultimately, Rio ended up getting the victory. She pinned Nyla Rose.
The 98-pound.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I thought.
Not a roll up, right?
Um,
Don't say a roll up.
no.
I was like, oh my god.
It was a second rope running knee, set of knees to the face for the 1, 2, 3.
I thought you were gonna say a second rope cross body. I was like,
That would have, yeah.
I don't think so.
Nyla Rose did attack after the match, and interviewer Michael Nakazawa, she hit a powerbomb on him, which she almost dropped him.
Mhm.
That was another botch, that looked pretty bad, but she was able to fix it or whatever. Kenny Omega came out and tried to rescue Rio, so kind of sent Nyla Rose to the back, which was interesting. Next up, we had our main event. We gotta get through this fast. We gotta hit a commercial break, and we still have NXT and Friday Night SmackDown to discuss.
It was a busy week.
Yeah, so it's gonna be every week now.
Yep.
All right, so let's get through
We
this.
may actually have to start preparing and planning for this stuff.
We might have to. You believe that? we have to actually put in work here.
We can't just call it in the ring anymore.
No. Chris Jericho teamed up with Santana and Ortiz to take on Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks.
Where's Conan?
He's not there.
It was was that LAX and Jericho?
Yes, well, Santana and Ortiz, yeah. They can't call themselves LAX. But,
Right.
after a few minutes into this match, John Moxley
Mhm.
interrupted. There was no DQ in this match apparently.
Yeah.
Because they just
Right.
let the match go. Whatever. Moxley attacked Omega and he took him to the side as you mentioned.
Mhm.
The glass table spot.
So that was during the match.
That was technically during the match.
Oh.
He took him
I
to.
thought that was just a backstage segment.
He took him to a VIP section. They said,
Right.
which was kind of like in the inside, still the arena, but it was a separate area.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was interesting. I'd never seen that before, but it was a VIP area, as they said. And then he hit the not dirty deeds. He called it something else.
It's like it was a double arm DDT though, no?
It was a double arm DDT. It was more spike.
Yeah,
he lifts him up, and so it's
Right. It was
it's
yeah.
more-
It was like a lifted.
Yeah.
I get you.
So it was
Yeah.
essentially a dirty deeds, but a lot more effective on the glass table.
You're trying to sell it through the table too.
Yeah.
I think Ambrose got a lot of that glass. To
Oh
be
yeah,
honest.
he looked like he was in pain.
Yeah.
Going back to the ring, the Young Bucks ultimately got outnumbered.
Mhm.
Jericho hit the Judas Effect elbow, which is his new finisher.
It's not that bounce back off the rope gimmick. The springboard.
No,
Oh, okay.
no, it's just a back elbow. It's what Andrade does.
Oh.
You know that elbow Andrade does?
Yeah, yeah.
Jericho does it
Okay.
as his finisher.
As his finisher.
Yeah. It looks
I
pretty
get.
good.
I mean, there's no. I mean, yeah, you
It's
can
a
have more
knockout.
than one finisher. I guess that's fine.
Yeah, he's been using that to win. So they attack the Young Bucks. Cody comes out to try and help.
Mhm.
Then Sammy Guevara comes out.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned.
He shook hands with Cody after their match and kind of walked away
Mm-hmm.
earlier in the night. But then he came out and then he low blowed the executive VP, Cody, and started joining in on the attack. And then Dustin Rhodes came out in full gear. I don't know why he was in full attire, but all right.
Probably in a dark match, but yeah.
No,
weird.
he was. I don't. He was not
Oh.
scheduled for a dark match.
It's
That's what I was
weird
thinking.
when they're still in there when they're just hanging out
Yeah.
backstage in their gear, but
Yeah, like he didn't have a match either. So, but anyways, he came out and he took a beating too because the newly signed Jake Hager.
yay, the big.
That's a big reveal.
That's the big finish to the.
Formerly known as Jack Swagger came out,
Yeah.
and
they were hyping up. Oh, Bellator's.
The
Yeah, they kept throwing it
yeah.
in there, right? They got their MMA guy.
so,
WWE has Brock Lesnar, and
Yeah.
now Cain Velasquez.
Oh, we're gonna get to that. It's a good teaser. for
But
that. But
Jack Swagger Hager is
yeah, Jake Hager. is
Jake Hager
real
is.
name, I guess.
Yeah, I'm done. It's kind of underwhelming to be honest.
Yeah, it is. So it looks like that'll be a new staple moving forward. You got Jericho and Santana, Ortiz, and Jake Hager and Simon Guevara against the Elite.
It's a
I
good
guess.
stable. I mean, it's
yeah.
nice to see them establish stables.
Yeah, so that was AEW
I'll give
in
him
a
that.
nutshell. When we return, we gotta hit up NXT results, try and get through that, and then we got Friday Night SmackDown to discuss to close out the show.
There's a lot of stuff.
So all that and more right here on Beyond the Ropes.
Oh, qué piani. En la esquina de East 7th Street y Alamitos está el Museo de Arte Latinoamericano, una organización non-profit que expande el conocimiento y la apreciación del arte latinoamericano moderno y contemporáneo, y es el único museo en los Estados Unidos que está dedicado a
Yeah, we don't have
presentar
time for
este
that
tipo de
draft.
arte. El museo
That's
tiene
alright.
una colección permanente con más de 1,600 obras de arte.
Just
Hasta
make sure you
mayo
mention it
12
at some
tienen la
point.
exhibición La Huella
Just say we
Múltiple,
meant
que
we
busca reunir las
talked
mejores
about doing
obras
it, but
gráficas producidas
too
por
much going on.
artistas
I'll
cubanos,
mention it.
populares y emergentes. Para conseguir más información se pueden dirigir a su página de internet en mola.org.
What are we listening
The
to?
corner of East 7th Street
Alright,
and
we could talk
Alamitos
about
is the Museum
NXT
of
for
Latin America.
about
A non-profit
7 minutes.
organization.
I mean, we don't have to talk. I mean, I'm
We don't have to go
probably.
into direct
Modern
detail, but
contemporary
Yeah, part of me is
Latin
thinking we don't have
American art, and is the only museum in the United
Yeah.
States
Just kinda go
that is
through the
dedicated
results
to
real quick.
presenting this
Yeah, 'cause I
work.
mean,
Only
come
The
on, they
museum
get
has
to
a permanent
SmackDown and
collection
stuff.
of more than 1,600
SmackDown
works of art.
and-
Until
Pull
May
up
12th, they have the
SmackDown results.
exhibition La Huella Múltiple, or the Multiple Print, which seeks to gather the best graphic works produced by
And we
popular
don't need
and
to talk
emerging
about
Cuban
how
artists.
pretty
For
much.
more
I
information,
mean, Charlotte
go to
won the
their
title,
website
but
at mola.org.
Or did she?
yes, 10-time champion.
Programming support for 22 West Radio is provided by Turkish Airlines. With 307 destinations worldwide, Turkish Airlines flies to 124 countries and offers daily non-stop flights from Los Angeles to Istanbul and beyond. For more information, Visit TurkishAirlines.com. Widen your world.
Ray would be great in a sitcom. He sounds like that wise uncle who's giving the main character advice.
Get ready, because I'm tagging you in to tune into 22 West Radio every Monday night at 6 p.m. Pacific.
Oh, yeah!
As myself, Rob Flores, James Williams, and Ethan Ortiz discuss everything related to the professional wrestling industry.
That was great! Yeah! Right to the kisser! Quiet, McMahon, I'm trying to watch this!
So don't miss a single episode of Beyond the Ropes. After this is
You're listening to 22 West Radio, the new home of K-Beach. And if you're listening on your desktop or through our website, you may want to take us along for the ride anywhere you go. It's so simple to do. All you have to do is download the free Radio FX app from the App Store. Then when you install it, just search for 22, type the number 22 in the search box, and then hit the star to favorite it. That way, 22 West Radio will always be at the top of your feed on the Radio FX app. It's Radio FX. It's free at the App Store. Do it today.
Hi, this is Cassius. And this is Hui. We're the hosts of Listomania, and you're listening to 22 West Radio.
And we're back with Beyond the Ropes. I'm Ethan.
I'm James.
I'm Rob.
And as always, we are BTR. You can find all our videos on YouTube. You'll find over 90 episodes uploaded there. We are currently on you now with the hashtag
Ask Questions.
And let's just get right into some NXT results. NXT kicked off with an NXT Championship match. For I believe they went over 20 minutes here. Adam Cole defended against Matt Riddle. Of course, Undisputed Era's Adam Cole retained. Because why wouldn't he, right, Rob? Yeah, that's right. And, he had maybe a little bit of help from the rest of the guys, but that's all right. Doesn't matter. He got the victory at the end.
He got the dip.
And, actually, no, I think he won clean. He did. No, it was the other match I was thinking of.
Wow, clean finish?
Yeah, it was a clean victory.
You don't see a lot of those.
No, it was good. It's Adam Cole. He can beat anyone. However, the celebration was cut short because he was interrupted by a returning Finn Balor.
Oh, that's right. There was so much stuff.
I heard he's gonna get paid less.
I don't think so.
Nah, I think he's getting paid the same.
Yeah, there's no way.
There's no way he's getting
There's no way you get paid less, especially if they're adding. It's the same thing as pro sports or traditional sports, where the reason why LeBron James gets paid $30 million has to do with his talent, but also because they have TV deals. So the fact that NXT is on TV making money, they have more than enough money as it is, but Finn Balor is making the same, if not more, to make the jump to NXT.
So he officially announced he came in the ring after a loud ovation and said, as of now, Finn Balor is NXT.
Had a shirt and everything ready in the shop.
I want that shirt. Yeah. I want it. It says Finn XT on the back. Want it. I need it now.
There you go. Maybe for Christmas.
Yeah.
But there was never the
on my
AJ
list.
Styles crossing pass with Finn.
It's all good.
Nope.
I'm all for Finn on NXT. In NXT.
As far as I'm concerned, he is NXT. Like, when I was watching NXT, it was Finn and Shinsuke, and that was kind of.
He's the longest reigning champion there.
Yeah. See.
And that's pretty much he's a staple in that brand. So good to see him back. Looks like he'll be challenging for that title soon. Velveteen Dream issued a challenge to Roderick Strong for the North American Championship. Io Shirai and Mia Yim had a nice match. Really good match. If any women's match is going to be the match of the night,
that might have been the one. Yeah.
That's probably it, because that was really good. Shirai ultimately got the victory with a moonsault. So that was good.
High spot.
Yep. Johnny Gargano took on Shane Thorne in another good match. This was a really fun match. Gargano ultimately got the victory after a super kick.
Okay.
It was a devastating super kick. Looked good. NXT Women's Championship match. Shayna Baszler took on Candice LeRae for the title.
Oh,
She
yeah.
retained after making Candice submit. I don't know who's gonna beat
Who's next?
Shayna, but I think it has to happen soon.
Weren't they talking about Yim getting in there?
Well, she just
I mean,
lost,
she lost, so.
probably not.
Yeah, I've seen quicker turnarounds, so.
Yeah, we'll see. Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Mark Henry, Stephanie McMahon, Alundra Blaze were all in attendance throughout the night.
Oh, wow.
So, big deal. Pete Dunne took on Danny Burch. So a little bit of NXT UK action.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's Pete Dunne over.
Yeah,
Might as well get him on TV.
He's pretty much an NXT prime now.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know, they've had some NXT UK guys show up there as well.
Right.
Since the switch. And he defeated Danny Burch. It was a good match. After the match, however, Damian Priest attacked Dunne. So it looks like we're setting up a feud there.
Okay.
Damian Priest, kind of up and comer in the NXT brand, so it's interesting. In the main event, NXT Championship match, Tag Team Championship match, Undisputed Era took on the Street Profits, who came out with Wale.
That's right.
Came out
Wale
through the
was supposed
crowd.
to be having a.
Mhm.
Okay.
And they lost.
See it.
Undisputed Era got that victory. And
Then you had a.
Adam Cole came out
Yep.
to celebrate with the rest of the guys.
Yep.
I think Roger Strong came out to help his team, and then they were all in the ring. Adam Cole came out at the end. He was on the stage, and was interrupted once again by another returning superstar, Tommaso Ciampa, cleared from neck surgery.
Yeah, that's pretty quick. It seems pretty quick. It's probably been 6 months or
It's
something.
been at least 6
a year or
months.
something.
No, it's been about 6-7 months. He is officially cleared for action, so Adam Cole is now a targeted man.
It sounds so. I mean, it's from the video I saw of someone that was in the crowd. It sounded like he got a pretty big pop, but also I don't know. For me, it kind of didn't. I kind of
felt
thought
like
he was.
Finn
I thought
got
he
a
was.
bigger pop.
I thought he was back already. From the when Johnny won or whatever. When Ciampa came out and they like made up and all that stuff.
That was like shortly after he had the surgery. He just came out to celebrate.
I guess
so.
that was like 6 months still, then. Like 4 or 5 months.
No, it's been at least 6 months for sure.
Yeah.
Friday night SmackDown premiered on Fox. Big deal. They had a kickoff show.
Yeah, they did. And it looked good too. I mean, I saw some of it with the with Booker T and Renee Young, and it looked good. Like the camera, like some people said, it felt like a sport, like a sporting event, and it kind of did. Just the way the camera was focused on them, it looked very good. It looked different,
especially when you have Fox Sports representatives.
It was pretty.
Throughout the night.
It was pretty trippy to see Aaron Andrews on there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know if this
kind of was.
I don't know if this is gonna be a weekly thing or if it was just for the premiere.
Yeah, I would say
But
it's just
we'll
for
see.
the premiere. I think if at that point then you're gonna have to pay them more money. One, because they may not be completely familiar with wrestling.
Yeah.
And
for
then
sure.
and then just on top of it, they're doing an NFL game on Sunday, but prior to that, they have to do again, and having it in LA didn't hurt, and they had the whole red carpet thing.
The blue carpet.
The blue carpet in right outside the Staples Center, which was a very familiar setting for me because it looked just like because they have the ESPYs there too, and it was also on that same kind of. It was the same kind of setup. So, I'm kind of sad I didn't know about it, or I would have tried to go.
Same here. It was a good.
You know what? We should have went. We should have at least known about it. If I would have known they were gonna do it, I would have tried to get us credentials.
Next time. There's always next day, hopefully. The show opened up with the man Becky Lynch. Well, first off, they got Vince and Stephanie came out. They said, "Welcome to Friday Night SmackDown." And
that's right.
They had an intro video, intro package, AC/DC's or the music now. They got a huge stage as well as Monday Night Raw.
Is it the same?
No, it's
because
different.
the Hell in a Cell one looked like SmackDown.
No, it's different.
Did it not?
A little bit. It had kind of the same screen, but it was different. But SmackDown, Friday Night SmackDown got a huge upgrade. For sure, they got lasers and a bunch of pyro. And
that pyro just felt right.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw, I'm like, yeah. I mean, that's how it's supposed to be.
Like the what is it called? The LED on like the sides.
Yeah.
I like that addition to it. It's different. Then you open up with the man Becky Lynch. She was interrupted quickly by King Corbin, who was quickly interrupted by the returning Rock, the Rock, of course. And they proceeded to essentially make fun of Corbin throughout the night, or throughout the segment.
I thought Baron looked. He. I don't want to say he looked out of place. He kind of felt out of place, but at the same time.
Wearing that long.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was more the King outfit than anything else. But I mean, if he's in that spot, I mean that kind of tells you what they think of him.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I know some people who aren't very fond of
The Rock
Corbin,
praised him.
Yeah.
On social media after.
Oh, did he?
He praised
Okay.
him and also Becky in individual posts on his Instagram.
He seemed to hold his own with the Rock and stuff too. So.
For sure. He called Corbin an STD. A super tough dude.
That's right.
A super tough
That's
dude.
right. That's right. I'll be curious to see how that carries over.
It carried a little bit last night at home, so
Okay.
we'll see. Ultimately, they ended up using their moves on Corbin.
Mm-hmm.
Rock bottom, elbow. They posed, and we got to move on to the next segment. It was the tag team match between Charlotte and Becky, taking on Bayley and Sasha.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, Bayley tapped out to Charlotte Flair, who would get a title opportunity last night and would ultimately win the SmackDown Women's Championship. Both Sasha and Bayley lost, and after the match they were both seen crying. So I don't know what that means. If that's gonna
seen crying
on camera? Yeah.
Oh.
So they both did it. So
maybe
something's
they
gonna
got,
happen.
Did they get cured? Not cured, but did they get humbled?
Maybe. I don't know what this means.
Is gonna be the start of. I have a question for you. Did Ronda come back?
No.
Okay.
Seth Rollins and Shinsuke ended in a no contest after a couple of minutes, which is unfortunate because this would have been a great match.
Mm-hmm.
The Fiend interrupted and choked out Seth Rollins essentially with the mandible claw.
That's right. I did see that part.
So that happened. Kevin Owens took on Shane McMahon in a ladder match. Loser gets fired. Guess who won?
Not Shane. Kevin Owens won. Yeah.
Kevin Owens won. So Shane is fired. Sorry, Rob. He's heartbroken. He's
he?
at a loss for words.
I told you he wasn't the best in the world. If you're the best in the world, you would have won that match.
Speaking of the best in the world, did you hear? He's potentially confirmed for the Fox show.
Oh,
potentially.
Wait.
That was rumored. I don't know if it's true.
CM Punk is confirmed for the show?
Possibly. That's just rumors. You know, they go around. But
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's.
I mean, but if they're still talking about it, though.
If it's still being talked about, it's
Yeah.
possible. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens in the next few weeks. Then we had some of the main. I think that was pretty much it.
What was the main
Oh,
event?
we had Roman versus Eric Rowan.
Me.
Roman won in the lumberjack match, and then we had our main event, which was Brock Lesnar versus Kofi.
Oh my God! First of all, before I start a rant,
Terrible.
we were supposed to do, or we were considering doing a mock draft of some sort, but obviously it was
We're
a
out of
busy
time.
week, so we were out of time. How many minutes do I have left here? We have 7 minutes.
Technically,
I was mad.
You were mad.
He didn't even get to do anything.
I was at work.
He jumped on Brock for an F5. That was.
I was at work watching it. I was like, okay, here it goes. Let's see if Kofi can get some offense in.
I think they have 10 minutes. If they're going to do at least a little something.
Let's see if we get some offense in.
Jumps right into the F5 and loses.
Jesus.
Thank you, Kofi was trending the following day, which at least, thankfully, something.
Even the superstars, you know,
Daniel Bryan himself.
Right, we're saying, like, part of me got, because I saw the tweets before I saw the match, because I don't know if you saw my tweet where I said, I'm watching SmackDown at 8 o'clock now.
Me too, yeah.
Instead of
5.
But I guess that's what you get when it's on the local channel. I think the news was on during that time.
Yeah, I get AEW at 8, and then I get NXT at 5, which is, I don't know, it's weird like that.
Well, because it's whatever channel it's on.
Yeah.
Well, the team, I don't know.
TNT, I don't know what.
I don't know why it would be like that, but.
Anyways, so that match happened. Obviously not happy about it. Kofi was very humble about it.
Get an offense in or something.
Kofi was very humble about it. He wrote a message thanking everyone. So, hopefully he gets some type of redemption out of it.
I was gonna say, I think but I don't think so.
I don't know. Yeah,
not with Cain Velasquez running out there with little Rey Mysterio behind him.
Yeah,
looking like a cheerleader.
Rey Mysterio's father, your kid.
Yeah. Right.
Essentially.
At first,
you
I
know,
thought it was Dominic, and I was
everyone
like,
else
I was
did too.
like, "Jeez, Dominic, you're huge, dude."
Anyways, Cain Velasquez, Brock Lesnar's nemesis from the UFC, came out.
I like that.
Kind of laid him out, kind of.
Yeah, he got some offense in on him.
And,
He kind of surprised Brock. A little background on it.
He beat Brock for the
Cain
UFC title.
Cain Velasquez beat Brock Lesnar for the UFC title in 2010.
So it's been a while.
So it's been a while, but I thought they sold it well. I would love to see how those two sat in a room and they worked that out. But
Anyways, that was pretty much the week. Well, I mean, we didn't really talk about Hell in a Cell, but we're out of time. And there was a whole lot to talk about other than what we already have talked about. I know Tyson Fury was there as well, boxer.
yeah, right.
And he's
he
supposed
got
to be on
involved.
Raw tonight. Talking
Yeah,
about Braun Strowman. So
I think he already called him out. I think they already.
yeah, I believe that's the case for Crown Jewel possibly. So we'll talk about that next week. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's odd. But anyways, we're out of time, so we gotta quickly end this. You can follow all of us at Real BTR Radio, Facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes. This is essentially gonna be every week from now on. We have news from every show.
Yeah.
NWA Power starts tomorrow on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
They already taped a show, and I believe the Midnight Express are like tag team champions.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that next week. Anyways, this episode has been too sweet. You're so loud.